The GI's first impressions of Germany in World War II. In spring 1945, Germany surrendered. Allied forces entered the country. American soldiers knew Germany through propaganda. They had only interacted with captured soldiers. German cities had been destroyed by bombing raids, but rural areas and suburbs were relatively unscathed. American soldiers marveled at the beauty of Germany. One GI wrote,
"The frequent hills were covered with aromatic pine forests so thick with trees that they were dark and cool despite the brightest sunshine. Clear bubbling streams ran down the hills into wide lovely valleys, all intensively cultivated. The quaint little towns looked like illustrations from Grimm's fairy tales."
The GIs entered German houses. They found modern furniture, paintings, and china. German civilians appeared well-fed and clothed. The Americans also encountered many displaced persons. They worked as slaves in German factories and fields. The soldiers had seen the hardships of the war in Europe. Germany's prosperity made them furious. They assumed the Germans had looted all their possessions. The soldiers were willing to destroy German property. They considered it payment for destroyed European cities. An American lieutenant wrote,
"I want to burn every town to the ground. I really want to shell every place before it is occupied, just to bring home to the women and children what a hell Germany has inflicted upon the world."
Allied soldiers weren't allowed to occupy private homes in Europe. That changed when they entered Germany. The soldiers helped themselves to food and valuables. They didn't show any sympathy for the German families. The U.S. Army forbade fraternization with German civilians. Soldiers could start sympathizing with the enemy, but Germans displayed little hatred toward the victors. The children begged American soldiers for candy. The soldiers shared chocolate and gum from their rations. They believed kindness could re-educate Germans. American soldiers started dating German women. They took measures to skirt the restrictions. Some dressed their German dates in Allied uniforms. Others forged documents for German women. The documents stated they were displaced persons. The non-fraternization order was soon lifted. American soldiers expected to meet Nazi fanatics, but there were few of them among German civilians. Many perished with the Reich or fled the country. Some said they hadn't known about the regime's crimes. Alfred Krupp owned the largest arms manufacturing company in Europe. He claimed his slave laborers had come voluntarily. It was hard to select people for the new German government. The Allied forces resorted to using lie detector tests. Allied bombing raids were convenient for many Germans. They wished to paint themselves as the victims. They believed that they'd never harmed anyone. One American sergeant wrote,
"It's hard for me to understand how a whole country, a nation, could be so uncivilized as to do such things as this. Even if the civilians didn't do it themselves, they put up with it. Let it happen. And how could one lunatic man and his gang of thugs get such a hold on people he could get by with just anything he wanted to do?"